I've made a game that uses multiple maps to do different levels. I'll show you what that looks like, and then I'll show you how I did it. So you can see I'm on level 1 here, and I've got an exit door. When I touch the exit door, I've gone to level 2, and when I touch the exit door again, I go to level 3. I haven't made a level 4, so very cunningly I have left out the exit door, so I don't have to worry about that. So let's have a look at how that works. So I've got my 3 maps here. They're completely separate files. In fact, I'll show you the folder. So I've got my map 1, my map 2, my map 3, and in tiled they're all pretty similar, and they all have an exits layer, and you'll see that the exits layer only has one exit. So if I hide the layer, you can see the exit is disappearing. Same on this one, it's got an exits layer, and this one, it has an exits layer, but there's no exit on it. What does that look like in code? Now this is a little bit more involved, so let's take it relatively steady through here. So firstly, normally in the init section, we load a map, but you'll see the loading map has gone from here. I've actually put that into a separate function called load new level. And the reason for that is we're going to need to do it multiple times. So I needed to have it outside the init so we could call this when we need. So if you look in the init here, I call the load new level function. So that basically just says jump to this and do it. When I call the level, I tell it which level I want. Let's just talk about this a little bit here. In the init, I've made a new variable called self.currentLevel. Initially current level is map 1. And this little string builder thingamy here is basically saying take that self.currentLevel, which is the number 1, that's the value there when we right here, and put it here. So it's loading my map 1.tmx. That fella. So that's what happens at the beginning, and the usual stuff can happen. As you can imagine, I've got an exit list sprite list, which reads from that exits layer, and I don't forget to draw it in the on draw section. So that's all straightforward. Now down here in the on update, got the usual stuff, and I've got this section for changing levels when we get to an exit. So I do the usual thing, I check for collision with a list, I check the player sprite against the exit list. Have we collided with the exits? And if that hit list is anything other than 0, if the length of that hit list is anything other than 0, we just touched the exit and we need to load the next level. So what I've done here, I've added 1 to the value of whatever the current level is. So it's gone from 1 to 2 initially, or 2 to 3. Or if I had touched the exit on level 3, it would go up to 4, etc. So it's always going 1 more. And then I've basically got that exact same line, self.load new level. We had that right up here in the init, self.net. This is identical line to load a new level. And the only thing that is changing is that the value in this current level is going up. So it would be 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever. And that will go back, it will load all the usual stuff. What you will find, of course, is kind of loading everything behind you. So you need to reset the position of the player sprite perhaps back to the beginning, or wherever you want it to be. Because it's not loading a new player sprite, it's only loading like your wall list and your exits list and anything else that you tell it to load in this bit here. Okay. And is there anything else? I have a strong feeling that that is it. So it's just a matter of setting up the levels in the first place. So a little bit fiddly here, of course, but you need to make sure that the position that you put the player back to kind of matches and it all works out, so that you don't, for instance, just put your player randomly in the middle of nowhere where there's no walls. But that's all detail that you work out in good time. Enjoy.